Hello students, in this session we are going to see how to perform assay of ammonium chloride. It is one of the practical under pharmaceutical analysis 1. So the aim for practical is to perform assay of ammonium chloride. Let us see the requirements for the practical. So apparatus we will require are burette, pipettes, then conical flask, rubber bulb, butter paper, spatula, weighing balance. Chemicals we will require are sodium hydroxide solution. It should be previously standardized. Then ammonium chloride, phenolphthalein, formaldehyde and distilled water. So phenolphthalein here is indicator. So before seeing the practical, let us first see what is ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride is a weak inorganic acid. It occurs as a white crystalline powder or fine crystals. It is freely soluble in water, being the inorganic salt. Most of the inorganic salts are soluble in water. Ammonium chloride is also freely soluble in water. Molecular weight of ammonium chloride is 53.49 gram per mole. Now, what are the uses of ammonium chloride? As it contains nitrogen, it is added to fertilizers and animal nutrients. Now let us see its pharmacological uses. So it is used as expectorant in cough preparations, that is to expel out cough. Also it is used as acidifying agent to correct metabolic alkalosis. Metabolic alkalosis means pH of the blood gets increased beyond 7.4. This may lead to metabolic disorders, hence to correct this acidifying agent must be used. So ammonium chloride acts as a acidifying agent. Now why we need to perform assay? Assay means to find out percentage purity of the sample. For any pharmaceutical substance, it is very important to establish its purity. Thus, the procedure for it is assay. Assay means to find out the percentage purity of the sample. Let us see the principle for assay of ammonium chloride. Now, ammonium chloride being a weak acid, it is based on the acid-base titration. So as you can see in equation 1, ammonium chloride plus water, that is ammonium chloride when dissolved in water, we get ammonium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid. Now these hydrochloric acid can be titrated against a base. So base we are using is sodium hydroxide. So it can be titrated against sodium hydroxide using phenolphthalein as indicator. Now the ammonium hydroxide which is liberated, it can favor the reverse reaction, that is ammonium hydroxide can combine with HCl to again give ammonium chloride. So to prevent this we add formaldehyde. So NH4OH plus formaldehyde will give methylene imine. Thus formaldehyde will prevent the back reaction, that is it will not allow ammonium hydroxide to combine with HCl. The liberated HCl is then titrated with NaOH to give NaCl and water. So the procedure is dissolve 0.1 gram of ammonium chloride in 20 ml of water. Then we will add a mixture of 5 ml formaldehyde and 20 ml of distilled water. So we will first mix formaldehyde and water, and this mixture we will add into the solution of ammonium chloride. We have to titrate it against NaOH solution using phenolphthalein as indicator. Color change will be from colorless to faint pink. So development of faint pink color will indicate that the titration has been completed. So we can note down the burette reading. That is, we will get the amount of NaOH which was required to neutralize the HCl. And how much HCl will be present in conical flask? It will again correspond to the amount of ammonium chloride. Thus, amount of NaOH required to neutralize HCl will give us the amount of ammonium chloride present in our sample. So we will now see a short video on how to perform the titration and how to use the burette reading in calculations. Hello students, now we are going to see how to perform assay of ammonium chloride. So for this, I have taken ammonium chloride sample in the chemical class. It was dissolved in 20 ml of distilled water. And then we have added 5 ml of formaldehyde solution and 20 ml of distilled water. It has to be titrated against NaOH solution. So for this, I have taken NaOH solution. But NaOH solution must be previously standardized. So as already shown by my colleague, the NaOH solution was standardized and the normality was found to be 0.09 normal. So the burette contains previously standardized NaOH solution. So the principle is acid-base method, acid-base titration method. I have added 2 to 3 drops of phenolphthalein as the indicator. So now we will proceed with the titration. The color change is marked by colorless to pink color. The titration must be stopped on the development of faint pink color. So as you can see, the faint pink color has been developed. So we will now stop the titration and we will mark the burette ready. So students, now we will see the calculation for assay of ammonium chloride. So the factor is 1 ml of 0.1 normal NaOH is equivalent to 0.005349 gram of NH4Cl. So first of all, let us see how to calculate the factor. So as we have seen in the principle, 1 mole of NaOH is going to react with 1 mole of NH4Cl. So we can elaborate it as 1 mole is equivalent to 1000 ml, 1 normal NaOH is equivalent to 53.49 gram of NH4Cl because 53.49 gram is the molecular weight of NH4Cl. So we will convert 1 normal into 0.1 normal. So 1000 ml 0.1 normal NaOH is equivalent to 5.349 gram of NH4Cl. 1 ml of 0.1 normal NaOH therefore will be equivalent to 0.005349 gram of NaCl. So you can see here how we can calculate the factor. Now we will see how to calculate the percentage purity. So now we will again write the factor. 1 ml of 0.1 normal NaOH is equivalent to 0.005349 gram of NH4Cl. So instead of 1 ml we are going to put our burette reading here. Instead of 0.1 normal we will keep the normality which was found by standardization. So by standardization normality of NaOH was found to be 0.09 normal is equivalent to, now we have to find this quantity. How much gram is present in our sample. So x gram of NH4Cl. So burette reading was found to be 20.1 ml. So 20.1 ml of 0.09 normal NaOH is equivalent to x gram of NH4Cl. So by simple cross multiplication of these two equations we can find out the quantity of x. So x by the calculation comes out to be 0.096 gram. Now next step is to find out the percentage purity. So formula is simple. Percentage purity is equivalent to weight found, that is which we have obtained practically, divided by weight taken, the sample weight which we have taken into 100. So we can see here we have got the weight 0.096 gram divided by, we had taken 0.1 gram of sample into 100. So it comes out to be 96.7 percentage. So the result for our practical is percentage purity of NH4Cl, that is ammonium chloride, was found to be 96.7 percentage weight by weight.
Thank you.
So, as we have seen, the percentage purity of given sample was found to be 96.7% weight by weight. Now, let us see some of the questions for synopsis. What do you understand by assay? So, assay means to find out percentage purity of the sample. Which titrant is used for estimation of ammonium chloride? So, as we have seen in the procedure, we have used sodium hydroxide. It is an acid base titration. So, the base we have used is sodium hydroxide. Why formaldehyde is added in the titration? Formaldehyde is added to prevent the back reaction of ammonium hydroxide and HCl. Now, ammonium hydroxide and HCl readily recombine to give back ammonium chloride. So, to prevent this back reaction, we have added formaldehyde. Which indicator is used for the assay of ammonium chloride? So, as we have seen, phenolphthalein color change is from colorless to faint pink. Which type of titration is the assay of ammonium chloride? It is a acid-base titration and it is a direct titration. Why NaOH needs standardization? Now, NaOH is highly susceptible to atmospheric condition. It readily absorbs carbon dioxide. Hence, standardization of NaOH is necessary. Which primary standard is used to standardize NaOH? So, we have used here potassium hydrogen thalate, KHP. Now, sodium hydroxide, it will be termed as primary standard or secondary standard. So it is a secondary standard because it is susceptible to atmospheric condition and therefore it has to be standardized before use. So sodium hydroxide is a secondary standard whereas potassium hydrogen thalate is a primary standard. Give some properties of the primary standard. So they should be easy to obtain, purify, dry and to preserve in the pure state. They should be almost 100% pure. Then they should be stable to atmospheric conditions, that is they must not decompose or must not be hygroscopic or deliquescent. They should not have water of hydration. They should be readily soluble. Also they must have high molecular weight to reduce the effect of weighing errors, because lower the quantity we weigh, there are higher chances of error, so they must have high molecular weight. Thank you.